All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops, the great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to the men on the highways and the byways that are pushing out this word in truth and sincerity, and to the remnant men, women, and children of the elect. I say shalom to you all. My name is Ahmawan Ahyash, and I'm back with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahawah to give an MOTB update. I'm gonna play this quick little video, and I got an article that I want to show, that is fulfilling Bible prophecy concerning the MOTB, which we know is the microchip implant, the RFID microchip implant. All right. We're heading to those times. We see everything else that's going on. You got Trump and his tariffs. You got, the collapse of the dollar. All these CBDCs, everything that's happening in the spirit. We got false prophets. We got everything happening in the spirit, man, leading to the end. We know persecution is coming for the Lord's elect, for his prophets, and it's all lining up to Bible prophecy, man. It's all happening through the power and spirit of Yahawah. And this is another, a domino that will, is a part of the fall of Esau Edom's kingdom. Okay, his MOTB micro C-hip implant. All right, so let me play this and let me get the article.
And our next story is about Elon Musk. He has said that his company Neuralink will restore blind person's sight with a new brain chip by the end of this year. You heard that right. Musk says that his company Neuralink has planned on implanting its new brain chip called blind sight into a human patient for the first time in late 2025. Now, here's why this matters. Neuralink is working quietly on Musk's most advanced technologies, brain chips. The company, in fact, is working on a brain chip that could potentially restore full sight for someone who is completely blind. It has already conducted animal tests, and it has been doing clinical trials since 2024. Musk's announcement will be the first major step towards widespread usage of Neuralink. During an event in Wisconsin, Musk said that animal trials for the new brain chip had been successful. He said that the monkeys with the implant were healthy. According to Musk, the animal trials showed great promise, as a result of which they are hoping to do first device implant for a human this year itself. And if successful, it would be huge. We are talking about giving someone who is completely blind eyes to see the world. According to Musk, it will start off low resolution, but over time, with use, the implant will enable vision that, in his words, is superhuman. Now, it seems his company is already moving towards trademark. Musk's statement coming in a few days after Neuralink filed for trademarks for the term blind sight. But that's not all. Neuralink has also filed trademarks for the words telepathy and telekinesis. The first Neuralink brain implant was carried out last year itself, in January 2024. 3 patients were given what Neuralink likes to call telepathy control over body parts that they previously had been unable to move due to disabilities. Neuralink is yet to specify a timeline for the rollout of the blind sight chip, but just to be sure, several rounds of testing of the technology will be done before this new technology becomes widely accessible for use. To stay up to speed with...
All right, so there you have it. Okay, the devil himself. All right, Elon and his Neuralink company is experimenting now with curing blindness with the new brain chip. Okay, and says that the first human implant could be done by the end of 2025. So they are moving this thing along. All right, they're moving it along, right? Esau been kicking the can down the road for some time, but they're moving this thing along, man. Okay, Elon Musk said recently that, hey, I'm almost done. Okay, and we know what he was talking about through the spirit. Okay, he's almost done with the technology concerning the micro C-hip. Some of the things that she mentioned, this lady mentioned in her video. First is called blind sight. That's the name of the actual chip. Okay, and something that I paid attention to, and you have to pay very close attention when it comes to Esau, when it comes to the information, okay, and the way he names things. She said that he was putting a trademark on the word telepathy, okay, and telekinesis, right? Because she said that the technology that will restore sight to a blind person, the technology would give them a superpower. Okay, the restoring their blind, it will be superpower. So they are not only trying to restore the blind with the AI and the technology and everything that's going on. They're trying to go above and beyond what we have as far as our regular eyes now. Like you might be able to see distances that the average eye or the human eye aren't able to see. You may be able to see colors that the human eye may not be able to see. Okay, so this is a part of his transhumanism agenda, his merging man with machine agenda. Okay, and he is starting to bring out more and more information concerning this. This is a brain hip. Okay, this is a brain hip. Okay, what does it say in? Let me go. Let me get this in the blue letter. All right, this is a brain chip. Revelation 13 to 16. 13 and 16. Okay, and it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. Okay. This, you see the title, must Neuralink to cure blindness with new brain chip. Okay. So it all links up. It all links up, man. All right. And having the desire to give, someone with blindness the type of sight or vision that would go beyond the average human eyes. This is the part of Satan's devices. All right. He's very crafty with this coming to this. The Heavenly Father, Yahawah, okay, Bashim Yahawashi has given him the power to invent these things, these type of devices and this technology, and come with it like this for what? For the purpose of prophecy, for the purpose of the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi being done. Okay, and the reason why he wants to patent or trademark a word like telekinesis or telepathy is because these are the things that he's trying to accomplish with his technology. Okay, he wants to be telepathic and be able to do all sorts of unimaginable things with the technology. All right. So this is not a surprise to those of us who are in the know, to the men of the Lord, to the servants and the prophets. This is no surprise to us. We're just waiting for him to actually bring it, to implement it. Okay. Now, real quick, this article that the brother Y had showed us, and I got another article that I was looking up. I wanna go into that a little bit as well, but I'm just gonna really quick read the headline. It says Elon Musk, this is from Moby Health News. Elon Musk announces Neuralink's first human implant of blind sight coming this year. Musk says the implant will initially provide blind individuals with low resolution sight with the potential for superhuman vision in the future. Okay, so I wanted to highlight that. All right, I wanted to highlight the point where it says potential for superhuman vision in the future. Why? Because again, the whole idea of transhumanism and merging man with machine is the idea of advancing humans from their what they consider primitive state. Right? They feel like the so-called white man feels like humans right now are in their low-level primitive state. When you connect or combine humans in this primitive state with his technology, that would make him superhuman. And that's his vision. All right? That's where he's headed. Okay? And the Lord is going to disrupt his enterprise, and the Lord is going to bring an end to this man's system and to his whole agenda. All right? And that's what we're looking forward to, man. We're looking forward to bringing this man, Yahawashi, bringing this man down. I got this other article that I wanted to bring out. This is from futurism.com. It says an AI model has officially passed the Turing test. Okay. And then it says underneath, more human than humans. All right. So the Turing test, really quick. Let me just get for the context of this video. I looked this up. The Turing test. Okay. So it says Turing test is a test for intelligence in a computer, requiring that a human being should be unable to distinguish the machine from another human being by using the replies to questions put to both. So in other words, you have a tester. A tester would be the human, right? Now this human is basically the test is for a human. That's not the test. So you have the tester, and then you have two participants. You'd have an actual human and then a machine. And what the human tester is doing, he's trying to distinguish between the human and the machine to determine which one is the human. Okay? A little bit more context. It says, the Turing test, a thought experiment devised by Alan Turing in 1950, is a way to assess if a machine can think like a human. Right? So it was created to see if a machine can think like a human. The test involves a human interrogator or a human tester having text-based conversations with both a human and a machine. So the human interrogator, which is the tester, is having text-based conversations with the human and a machine pretending to be a human. So the machine is trying to pass the test, having these text-based conversations, trying to pose itself as a human. It says the interrogator's goal is to identify the machine. So the tester or the interrogator is trying to identify which one is the machine, which one is the human. If the machine can fool the interrogator into thinking it's human more than 30% of the time, it passes the test. So if the machine is sending these text-based messages back to the tester, and if it can basically fool the tester into thinking it's human, then it passes the test. Well, guess what? The machine passed the test. Okay, for the first time. It says an AI model, because it's advanced technology at this point, is artificial intelligence, right? So the more the technology gets advanced, the more it's able to not only think like humans and pretend to be humans, but then even go above and beyond. It says an AI model has officially passed the Turing test, more human than humans. It says one of the industry's leading large language models has passed the Turing test, a long-standing barometer for human-like intelligence. It says in a new preprint study awaiting peer reviews, researchers report that in a 3-part version of a Turing test in which participants chat with a human and an AI at the same time and then evaluate which is which, OpenAI's GPT 4.5 model was deemed to be the human 73% of the time when it was instructed to adopt a persona. Now, I mentioned when I looked in the definition of the Turing test that the machine passes the test if it can make the tester believe that it's human only 30% of the time. This is saying the model was deemed to be human 73% of the time. Okay, this is where we are with the technology. This is where we are with AI. Okay, it says the time it was instructed to adopt a persona, that's significantly higher than a random chance of 50%, suggesting that the Turing test has resoundingly been beaten. The research also evaluated Meta's Llama 3.1-405B model, OpenAI's GPT 4.0 model, and an early chatbot known as Eliza, developed some 80 years ago. It says people were no better than chance at distinguishing humans from GPT 4.5 and Llama with the persona prompt, wrote lead author Cameron Jones, a researcher at UC San Diego's Language and Cognition Lab, in an extract about the work. It says, and 4.5 was even judged to be, now check this out, and 4.5 was even judged to be human significantly more often than actual humans. So what this AI is doing, it is beyond what we've seen so far. It's significantly more human than actual humans. That's what it's shown to be. And this is why part of the AI, we're seeing these different AI images where, you know, you can place somebody you can place somebody's image in their body in a country, a city, or a state where they're not even in. You can adopt, or you can what's the word I'm looking for? You can emulate, for lack of a better word, emulate another person's voice and put it in another, you know, with AI technology, and have them saying words that they ain't even say. Okay, and I think the Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar just did a video on that showing, you know, Esau's deception. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. This is, you know, the type of technology that the world can get used to, because, you know, they're trying to so-called solve all the world's problems with this advanced technology. All right. But the truth of the matter is this: Yahawashi has the cure. Okay. Yahawashi has the cure to all the problems in the world. Okay. And all the problems of the world start with Esau Edom. Okay. Who will have his power structure, his dominance, his rulership be put down and destroyed very soon. Okay? He will go into slavery, and then he will be exterminated. So this is why this is what needs to be, you know, the world's problems start with Esau Edom, who's a goddamn just an evil, he's just Satan, right? He's Satan. Okay? And this is again, one of the dominoes that will fall in terms of Bible prophecy and where we're headed. Let me get 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay? On the NLT it says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. We understand what Esau Edom's trying to do with this. He's not just trying to advance society, make things more convenient. He's trying to establish dominance and complete control with his technology. He's trying to micro-C-hip everyone, okay, which is his form of bowing and bending the knee to him, okay, serving him as your God, as his, you know what I'm saying? Serving him as your God. That's what he's doing with this technology. We're not ignorant of what he's doing with this technology. It's not just to cure your blind, you know, your sight, your vision. It's not just to cure you of cognitive issues that you may have, or, you know, for the ease of convenience of society. It's for complete dominance and control. That's the point. That's where AI, that's the whole idea of microchipping everyone. Okay? So I just wanted to bring this out, man. They only had a couple scriptures, you know, the Revelation 13:16, the MOTB. When to get that, you know, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. And I want to just get this last one real quick. Ephesians 6:11, it says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, Yahawah, Yahawashi, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, right? Because this is what you're going to need. You're going to need the armor of Yahawashi to be able to stand against Esau's plan and his agenda. You're going to need the names of Yahawah and Yahawashi. That's part of the armor. You're going to need faith. Okay. You're going to need the spirit of endurance. The Lord's going to have to be, because we're in a time where things are, all hell's about to break loose. Okay. And you're not going to be, and you're going to need to endure, because the Lord is going to, there's a lot of people who are going to fold in these last days, and they're going to break with all of the events that are going to take place here in Babylon the Great. They're actually going to break. Okay. So without the names, without fear of Yahawashi, that's a part of the armor. You must fear Yahawashi, man. You know, a lot of these guys are claiming to be Israelites, which they are Israelites, but, you know, teachers, and they have camps, and they're doing all this folly in these games, and it's all about them. And hey, man, they're not showing enough fear. And that's just my personal opinion. All right. So you got to put on it says put on the whole armor of the Most High that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devils. All this game playing, getting on camera, making fools of yourself, that ain't gonna be hey man, that's gonna be a thing of the past. Okay. People are gonna be trembling in fear and stripped down to the very last compound. Okay. And all you're going to have is to call on the names of Yahweh, Yahawashi, your faith, your fear, your belief, your trust in the names of Yahweh, Yahawashi. And Lord willing, we get delivered from this man's, from the wiles of the devil. Okay. It says, verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay. So they be summoning all types of demons and, to come up with this technology, man. They going deep in their bag for this. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, okay, and against the rulers of the darkness of this world. These Elon Musk and all these elite bankers, you got your Charles Schwab, you got Bill Gates and all these people, and even those that are above them. Right? These are the rulers of darkness of this world. Okay? This is the spiritual wickedness in high places. We're actually witnessing it play out right now. Spiritual wickedness in high places. We're witnessing it play out. All right? And the Lord, Yahweh Shai, has given us the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and we're here to report it to the elect. All right? Verse 13, it says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Okay, so the evil day is upon us. All right, the evil day is upon us. Jacob's trouble will take place. Our temptation, MOTB. Okay, famine. It's all going down. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. As always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.